And we're back. What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith, just Keith. Welcome back to the old time. The old time, 11 p.m. We hadn't done this in a minute, have we? Oh, we haven't. Why? Because most nobody watches it. That's why. We've got a whopping 39 people on. Hell yeah, right? Well, I guess that's better than zero. Let's talk about it. I got some rough looking charts to show you. We'll get into some detail on it. We go over this on lots of streams, but I want you to see it again so you get the full understanding of it. Welcome. Welcome to Crypto After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. It costs absolutely nothing. Subscribe while you're there. The more likes we get, the more subscribers and the more reposts and notification bells you guys hit, the better. And let's do Crypto After Dark. I believe we have it. Do we have it here? I don't know if I've got Crypto After Dark anymore on here or not. I think I might have took it off, honestly. Don't remember. That's how long it's been since I used this, man. It's crazy, isn't it? Let me see here. See if I can find it. Don't think I got it. Don't think I got it, folks. We'll just stick with Crypto Before Dark. I think I took it off of the. I think I took it off of OBS over here, so I don't have to see it anymore. But it's all good, bro. You know what's up. I got me a nice cold American Pilsner right here. I'm gonna not recommend you guys do the same, but I'm gonna have one because it's been a fucking terrible week. A terrible bull run, a terrible quarter before that, a terrible quarter before that, a terrible quarter before that. It's been a really crappy ride for the last little bit, and I just kind of like to have a beer and sit here and talk about it for a minute. Is that all right? I think it'd be all right. You know, I didn't think it would be as bad as it is, but damn if it isn't, you know what I mean? Damn if it isn't. You know, it's like one of them situations where you thought, hey, what if it goes wrong? And boy, has it ever. Very few charts actually did well this bull market. And you guys are going to go, that's not true, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. If we look at the numbers on this, it's going to be a couple out of however many tens of thousands of coins there are have done well. A couple. And they keep randomly popping up, but it's become a situation where the randomness of what coins move and what coins don't has created a situation where you really can't be profitable but doing anything but throwing money around and getting lucky. It's one of those rare occasions where people who just bought whatever did well. You didn't buy because of anything real. You bought because of feelings, and it worked. I'm going to bet that most people didn't buy all the random shit because they didn't either know how or didn't have access to them. But a lot of people did, as you can tell by the market caps of a lot of these things, man. They just had stupid, crazy market caps. Out of nowhere, too, just random fly-ups. And you go, man, wonder where that came from. And there's really no answer for it. We don't really have an explanation for it. But what we do know is there's been some real good fuckery going on, and anything we can do about it. So you really can't complain about it. You just got to smile and move on. We talk about this all the time in the Discord. You know, hey, man, how are we supposed to how are we supposed to know that a coin's going to go from market cap of number 72,000 to market cap 400 in a matter of 3 days? You can't know that. You're guessing. You're guessing. For what it's worth, the dinosaur coins, those are really interesting and have done pretty darn well. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dash, Zcash. Bro, that junk is so old and did absolutely nothing last bull run. But then look at this shit. This shit pops off and flies now. And it's not a good explanation for why all this has happened, but you got to admit it's been a pretty wild, interesting ride watching it happen, because I honestly didn't see it playing out that way, but damn sure if it hasn't. So we'll go through some stuff here, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what I see. And then we can just talk about it, okay? I don't want to go through a gazillion worth of charts, because for what it's worth, fellas, most of these altcoins look ass terrible. They just look ass terrible. And there's no point coming on here and talking about a bunch of coins that look bad. I mean, just is what it is. And for what it's worth, the views are so far down. You say proof of work coins. Do you realize there are about 6,000 of them and about 7 are doing well? So that's like less than 1% of 1% of 1%. That's the problem. That's the problem. You can't group them in narratives anymore because it doesn't work. They'll just random this one and random that one goes up. It's almost impossible to go, yeah, this one's going to do it because of nope, there is none. There's none of that. It's just guessing. So I've got Bitcoin's 4-hour chart pulled up here. And why do I have that? Well, we talk about this on the streams a lot, but I thought it was worth dipping into the well of showing you liquidity again, right? All the red lines you see are shorts that have entered the market and pushed the price down. I'm actually going to add a couple more here because I didn't do this until 12:30 this afternoon because I was out of the house or doing stuff with kids or doing stuff with the wife or cooking, all in between that. So I'm going to add in some other liquidity levels here. And essentially, I'm just going to find the previous highs, right? You see the previous high, previous high, previous high, previous high. It's nothing but shorts and shorts and shorts and shorts and shorts piling in and really hammering it out at the longs. So as you see, we pull that over there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at least liquidity zones that I see there on the 4-hour chart since the last all-time high. And where are your longs at? Well, they're down here at about 118, and I'll show you that now. Drop that off, pull that up. All right, what you see here is the CoinGlass liquidity chart. What does this mean? Well, it shows us where the longs and the shorts are, where they're piling in at, where they may or may not get targeted for liquidations. And liquidations mean the candles go toward this area. The price goes toward this area, okay? The rope's getting pulled back and forth between the bulls and the bears. The bears are trying to take the bulls out. The bulls are trying to take the bears out, and they liquidate each other on the way, right? The orange lines you see are heavy degenerate trades. Yellows, a little less degenerate, but still heavy degenerate. And then you get into the blues, they're more subtle, but still pretty degen. And then the light blues, which you can barely see, are pretty nominal. So typically we see the oranges and the yellows get wiped out back and forth, back and forth. I'm gonna put this on a 7-day instead of a 1-day. So you can see there's a lot of liquidity here. There's a lot of it piled up. And if you look at the scale as you run your cursor across it, you might not be able to see that, but that price is about 118 flat-ish, wipes out most of the degenerate longs because everything on this side of the chart is longs. Everything on this side of that red line in the middle is shorts. Look at all of these shorts piled in over here. Look at all of them. It's so many. Look at how many longs. And the longs are not far away from this red line. It kind of hints you in that they will be taking those longs out. And that price is down to about 118-ish. You could even go lower than that and say 117.5. Okay? How does that reflect on the chart? Well, here's the chart I got pulled up now. That green line you see right there is 18.6, 18.5-ish. And I picked the last little lower high there. We drop down a little farther, we get a little bit better explanation. Excuse me, sorry. We get a little bit better explanation. Right here's our last few candles of chop before we had this big run up down here at 112. We can go over there in CoinGlass and see 117.5 was the level it marked out as, hey, watch out, we could hit that. That's this level that I'm drawing right now. All right, I'll put that in green. All the longs are in green, okay? And the shorts are in red. Look at how many shorts there are versus the longs. As you can see, way more shorts. On top of that, draw a trend line. Obviously, this thing's just getting hammered with sell pressure over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's making lower highs over and over and over and over and over and over. It's a brutal setup that seems to not want to budge. I went ahead and sold a bunch off already. I took some profits. I had a couple of them that were in small losses. It's the way it goes. It's probably going to be about break even, which sucks. I mean, ain't much you can do, right? You could have just piled it all in Bitcoin, but even if I piled it all in Bitcoin, that was only 6%. And it's risky to put all your money in one thing, so I don't ever do that. I never put all my money in one thing. It's just something that every financial advisor will tell you. Don't put all your money in one thing. If I look at the 4-hour pivots, that's about 120 where it says, whoa. And as you can see, it threw a green hammer there before it ended the day yesterday. Of course, it ended with the green candle. But what's happening right now, big 4-hour bearish engulfing. I only show you these low time frames so that you can see where the liquidity is as we bounce back and forth through these live streams, right? Because it changes as we go live stream to live stream. Zooming out to the daily, you can clearly see the top formation it's making. It's done this multiple times before, where it makes this top formation and it either goes down or sideways and chops along and just removes liquidity as it does so. Here are your moving averages and exponential moving averages. The exponential moving average is the 8 EMA, and the 21 EMA would be the other exponential moving average, the purple line. Below that, you have the 100 and the 50. Those are regular moving averages. And then the 200 down here, all the way by its lonesome at about 106. Now, that's a long shot target. Don't think that happens right now. More so, I see if we're not going to hold this 8 EMA, which is that green line, then we're likely coming down to the purple line, which is, guess what? Right there near our liquidations. That becomes my next most obvious target. You spent a massive amount of time at all-time high. Couple hours. You can just tell that things aren't going to be the same anymore. You can just tell that this isn't going to be, oh, Bitcoin's going to run up and do. No, we're turning into the S&P 500 here. We're turning into the S&P 500, where it's going to be a situation where you buy it on the weekly or the monthly and just leave your money sitting there for years and years and years and years and years. And whatever you make, you laugh about and smile about. That's what it's come down to. I hoped it wouldn't happen that way, but unfortunately, that's just what's kind of happened. We have to play the cards we're dealt. And that's kind of the cards that I see on the table. If we zoom out to weekly here, technically, we're still over support, right? You broke that level right there the other day, pushed right through it. I never want to see too much green come in too quickly. I've warned all you about that before, right? When you have too much green pile in too fast, what happens? You get big red right behind it. It's not something you want to have to deal with, but keeps happening, right? So every time we get these big green candles, we get red right behind it, and it just stings even more. I try to tell people you got to anticipate this stuff, and you want to move slow up and to the right. You don't want it to just take off like a rocket, because you normally don't get anything but red behind that. So it is still over support, but that being said, if it does roll back some more, that becomes my target. Not only is that 118.5 right through there, but that support level is at about 119.250. So that 119.250 to 18.5 level just kind of makes sense. What's up, Ashley? That level just kind of makes sense. So that looks like it's where going there to me. It would make sense for it to putter around and slowly finish itself off. What I haven't talked about was the thumbnail. All right, now I never do clickbait. Y'all know I never do clickbait. We did hit one of my target boxes. I must admit, we hit one of them. Excellent. You've seen me share this a zillion times, but this is the layout from 2016, 2020, and now, and they're damn near identical still. Technically, this is still okay, even with all the ugly in here, but it's only okay for a couple again, right? we did hit one of my target boxes. They didn't hit the big one up here. Maybe that still happens, but I become more and more doubtful of this every day. And here's part of the reason why. This is the Bitcoin halving cycle profit indicator. If you go back in history and look here a little bit, this thing's been extremely accurate. I'm all the way back to the beginning of Bitcoin. All right. First halving right here in orange. They're already lined out for you on this indicator. It tells you to start taking profits about 40 weeks left to go. So if you see there about 280 days from halving, it's about time when you want to start taking profits. And if you notice here, it's in light green, and then it slowly eventually, it's in dark green, and it slowly gets to more and more and more and more light green. Why is that? Well, that's telling you, you start light with your profit taking and you get heavy with your profit taking. It even separates it out into 6 segments. So you could break it down to like 16% each time. Or you could if you got 6 segments here, you could do 3. You could do 15, 30 and all of it, right? 15, 30 and 55. Bang, 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 profit, profit, profit. But what it does show you is you get about 40 weeks of profit taking. All right. That says 40 weeks to go, and then 80 weeks to go. It says profit start, profit end. And as you can see, it wasn't perfect, right? But it was directly telling you, hey, you should start and stop taking profit, get your money and go. This indicator also tells you when to start rebuying. There's yellow dots right there and green dots, right? Yellow is heavier rebuying. Green is lighter rebuying. It tells you right there. Let's start DCAing 135 weeks after the last halving. All right, so we go halving to here. You'll see that's roughly 945 days, 950 days. Then halving happens, another 40 weeks, right? 280 to 285 days. It says, hey, you're hitting your profit taking place. You've already rebought, you've let it ride. Now we're going to start our heavy profit taking. Look how close it was this time. It was almost perfect. Yeah. Here we go again. Bam, you've taken all your profits. You want to start DCAing, 135 weeks to go. Right there you go. That's about where you want to start rebuying. Here we go again, 40 weeks profits. Look, it almost was perfect this time, telling you, hey, this whole time, we should be taking profits, not rebuying, right? Keep going. DCA 135 weeks after the bear market's over. Look at that. It's fucking perfect every time. It's not, I say perfect, that's wrong. It's fairly accurate every time. Hey, here comes halving. Oh, look, charts are getting wonky. It says start taking profits here. Slowly taper your profits all the way out. And here's the problem. We are rapidly approaching early November where it says that's probably near the top. Now, could you come on here and argue and say, hey, it's been different this time, Keith? Fair. I'm here for that. I'm here to hear that argument. I understand what you're saying. Maybe it is a little different this time. Maybe it is a little different time. That only affects the price. That doesn't affect the timeline. All right? That's my problem here. It doesn't affect the timeline. I have seen influencer after influencer after influencer on X saying this is a super cycle and it's going to be a 5 to 6 year bull market and won't be the same anymore and this, that, and the other. And hey, I understand you guys need the clicks. I understand you guys feel like. You got to know where I'm coming from. I don't feel like it. I'm just using math. If there's one thing I know about Bitcoin is it follows math. No question about it. All right. There's no question about it. It's mathematical. So it looks to me like this is all starting to come to an end. And it looks to me like it's going to come to an end without a bunch of altcoin runs. I think the market blew it with meme coins and porn coins and OnlyFans coins and all this other shit, right? I think that was our chance and we blew it. Sucks, right? Yeah, I agree. Problem is, I could come on here and lie to you and tell you, oh no, we got a bunch more gains coming. Everything's going to keep going up and we're going to do great. Don't worry about it. It's one of them situations where you're on, Keith, and you just need to think a little bit different, think outside the box, etc. Sorry, my son was texting me. He's on a mission trip. Fine. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm cool with it. Please highlight to me the exact coins that are going to go up, since you know and nobody else does. And I'm going to show you some more data here that kind of backs up what I'm trying to say. Okay. I want to talk all this out so everybody kind of understands where I'm coming from. What's up, Dab? Tough trading times. You need to be in a place surrounded by good people. Shout out to you, Dab. I appreciate it. Crew Chief says, what's up? What's up, brother? What's up, Beagle? Cody Kensel says, hey, Keith, may not be the best times right now, but we will prevail. Always do. Hope you and the fam are doing well. Brother, I'm borderline depressed. The fam's doing great. Everybody's doing better than me. Everybody's doing better than me. Dab said 46 of the top 100 POW coins are up on the weekly, but yeah, most of those are very sketchy. And that's the problem, right? Out of the 46, that's a 46% probability you're going to win. If I told you were 46% likely to go spend $1,000 at the roulette table and hit, would you do it? Probably not. That's the problem, right? Is you got to expect people to try to buy this stuff. And it's like, man, you're asking a lot. What's up, Jeremy? Shout out to Rumble. Appreciate you, Jared, for being over on Rumble. Shout out, my guy. Appreciate it. Appreciated. Right. So let me show you what I mean about altcoins. Okay. There's total 1, 2, and 3. We've been through this a bunch. And I don't know why this trading view's been stupid lately and not saving my charts like it's supposed to. Get frustrated with pretty much everything, man. Just hitting my breaking point with a lot of this stuff, you know. I spend so much time doing this stuff, and it's just over and over again. We keep getting punched in the gut. God almighty, man. How many more times do I got to get punched in the gut? Anyway, total 3 is still technically over the 1 fib. Problem. Total 2 is not. Looks like it's wanting to fail that 1 fib where all-time high was, which is Ethereum. And you know, a lot of stuff runs behind Ethereum. Bitcoin's still way up there with total market cap 1. I get it. Now, kicker here is total 2, not great. Go a little deeper here. Pull up the dominance charts for the coins in total 2. Let's just do like the top ones, right? How about we start with others.d? Here's others, meaning everything not top 10. Everything not top 10. Do you hear me? This is where we were last bull run, November 2021. Look at the run that altcoins had out the gate in 2019, ran up, right? You had your Rona, but then look at that. Brilliant move from 21, the beginning, up. And then what do we get from here? The exact same timeline here is the exact same thing here. It's exactly opposite. It's exactly opposite. You know, look, I understood that most of these altcoins are going to fail. I mean, look, it's zoop, and then right here, zoop. It's the. What are you going to do? Anyway, you've got, this is from the top of the bear market, bottom of the bear market, right? Time to go up. Oh, we just hit the trend line. What? Are we going to make it? Nope. This is 2024 right here. Peak, porn coin, meme coin, OnlyFans coin, top right there. And then bam, slam us down with sell pressure. Then, just when you thought things were going to improve, just when you thought, hey, we're breaking out. We're going to at least make a run back to this trend line, right? That's what's going to happen.
Wrong.
We don't make a run to the trend line at all. We fail another very, very tiny uptrend and make a new low. Are you shitting me, dude? Here's the problem. Look, you failed the 821 and all the moving averages. You failed the pivot. You're not even close to getting to the cloud. RSI and MACD. Yep, you're no help there. No help here. That's everything outside the top 10. Okay, cool. How about let's not do the top 10. Let's go like not top 10. I mean, inside the top 10. Let's go top coins. Here's Ethereum dominance. So look at this MACD. Big shoot up. Now it's converging on each other, right? RSI overbought. Now it's rolling back after being extremely oversold. Is it still above trend? Yes. But note the slowing. Actually, let me take that on there and leave this off. All right. Pivot. She failed the pivot line running back down to S1. Ichimoku cloud sitting right at the top of the cloud trying to fail into it. If this line fails, if this trend line fails, which looks like it wants to fail, altcoins are cooked. And this means pretty much all altcoins would be cooked. Ashley says, I haven't even broke even on Sol. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm ready to get out, break even, and get out of my positions. I wasn't profitable as I promised. I wasn't profitable as promised, but I did learn a lot. I don't know who promised you you'd be profitable. I never promised anything, but I'm sorry you didn't make. I'm sorry you didn't make much money. I didn't make near as much as I wanted to either. So you're not alone in that one. You know what I mean? You're not alone in that one. I did pretty bad too. So I really, really, really let myself down. Moving average wise, you rejected the 100. You failed the AEMA. Not great, right? Yeah, I mean, you have an uptrend here, and this could be a higher low, making a new higher high, but you are right on the edge of failure. Fine. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Binance. Oh, yeah. Here's where the money went, everyone. CZ coins. Aster and all this other horse shit that keeps popping up. Useless coin. Useless coin. Look at that one. Shit's riding crazy right now. Riding crazy right now. It's pretty wild. So big bounce off the trend line, and it's yet to stop. She has run straight to the golden pocket so far, and Binance out of this world shot up in the air. Let me show you. Look at that. There's where your bull market was. Binance coin. Not supposed to know that the coin that was under investigation, the man was getting put in federal prison. That was going to be the bull run coin. We all knew that, right? That's exactly what we knew was going to happen.
Wrong.
Great. How about some more? Let's keep going, right? What's next after that? You guys know what's next after that. After Bitcoin, after Binance coin, after Ethereum, XRP, right? Don't worry. XRP's okay. Here's XRP dominance. What looked like it was going to make a break and run has slowed down, just like it did in previous runs. Double top right here after the purple line. Bang, bang. You see that? Double top after the purple line. Bang, bang. Really needed some movement here, and it just didn't give us to us. After the purple line. Bang, bang. And you had more drop. More drop. And more drop. Back here. Didn't happen all the way back in the very, very, very beginnings of XRP. But that's about it. Every other time, it simply tried to make a new high and couldn't. And this time, even high, barely got through. It is still sitting on the green box. It is still on the trend line. But look at the daily here. Just giving up the goose, man. Just giving up the gains. Can't have that. Failed the 8, 21, 50, 100, and 200 moving averages. It is right next to the trend line. But if it does not get up off this trend line, look, it's oversold. Should be going up now. Right? MACD. Terrible looking. Look how high that was, and it's done nothing but fade since. It really makes you wonder where the money went. Really makes you wonder, doesn't it? For it just to evaporate like this. It's sitting right on top of the weekly cloud. If it doesn't make a move from here, it's in trouble. Now, I want to see one more move. I thought there would be one more move in this to at least get us to 6%. Now, we got to 5.5. If you guys go back and check a couple of the other live streams we did, you'll see where I was talking about 6 to 8%. Just never got there. Came really close. Just never got there. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? I don't know. How about we keep going? How about Solana? Solana dominance. Well, now we're talking a little bit here. Look, she's trying to hang on here and not give up. Trying to hang on. Look, it's sitting on 886. It broke the It broke the all-time high line, right? I don't know where I would draw that trend line exactly. Let me pull that. Well, you could argue that that's just about right there, and then argue that Solana is not in the worst position here. You could argue it's not in the worst position. It's underneath the daily 8, 21, and 50. This is dominance, by the way. This is the grip on the market. It's got less than 3% now. But you see the grip over the market fading from Solana. It's really all Bitcoin right now. And what do I mean by that? Here's Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance gave up for a while, but look, it's on the come up over the 8, 21, and 50. It hit one of my targets already right there. I have another one coming up, and it's on the weekly. As you see, that weekly has jumped the 8 EMA, and it's aiming for that 21 EMA. That happens to also be right about that same place where that support line that failed is, where it's now resistance. Is it going to get back over that or not? That's the question. Well, I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm not exactly sure yet. We're going to see. Let's go look at the prices of these coins that I just talked about, right? So here's Solana. So hung up here, still stuck in the mud, doesn't want to get loose, playing around with 786, 886 Sniper's Alley level, right? I need you to get through the mess here. And every time it looks like it's going to get through the mess, it just slows down more. It's a lower high technically. You are over the trend and you are on the 50 moving average, but you're under the 821 and you're making lower highs. I need to see some movement here. If it gets through and gets all the way up above all-time high, then we're looking at 400 to 600. But the problem is it can't get out of its own way. The longer it takes to sputter around right here, the more time it uses up and the less time we have for these gains to come in. And if they're not going to come in, you're going to find out real fast. Like, this steady climb up was fun. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that it's happening. The problem is it's unsustainable if it doesn't get some volume behind it and create a new high. Need a new high. Otherwise, you're going right back down below that trend line, and it's more failure. More failure. I don't want to see more failure. Don't want to see that. But XRP, what's kind of the same story. She's stuck in this big wedge right here, and every time it looks like it's going to break out, she smacks her head on resistance and rolls over and fails. It's under all the moving averages now. It's under all the moving averages now. It just keeps stair-stepping its way down. What about the weekly? Right? Well, don't look at the daily. Zoom out, Keith. Right. Same thing here. You're hitting the 21 moving average again. If it does not bounce this 21 moving average, it will fail the 21 moving average. And if that happens, it also fails a trend line. And that's one of worst case Ontario's. You can't keep failing these trend lines. They take forever to get back over. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, yeah? Ethereum, same story here. You swept the all-time high for 1 hour and then rolled back over.
Come on, man.
What is that shit? Where's the buy pressure? All this bullish news nonstop, constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, plus bank holidays. It never stops about how bullish this stuff is. Yet, failure and failure and failure. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys, fellas. It's nothing personal, and ladies, if you're watching, it's nothing personal. It's just super frustrating watching all your hard work go to nothing. You know what I mean? And I don't expect anybody to sit around and keep watching this happen. So, warning, it could stop at any moment and be over. That's the thumbnail. That's what I meant by the thumbnail. Please be aware that you need to get profits if you can. Do your own thing on that. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't do financial advice. But I'm going to take as much profits as I can here and there and here and there. That's all there is to it. That's going to be a very grim clip. But I'm just trying to be honest with everybody. It sucks, man. She says, no, not you. I was following a lot of BS people before I found you. Oh, appreciate it. Sorry. James did a video today that Saul was going to be 600 or something crazy. Well, it could possibly get to 600. But it ain't a sure thing at all. I mean, none of this shit looks sure at all, dude. It all looks so sketchy. It's all so sketchy. I'll go through a couple more here. Like, if you look back and we zoom out on monthly, I'll drop this off. You'll see there, monthly's fine. Now, I want you to note I've said this before, right? High, a little bit lower high, a little bit lower high, a little bit lower high. If it's going to stop, I get it. I get it. I understand. At the same time, it's still a high on the monthly and it has 21 days left. So should we really be in like panic mode? Probably not. It's up Inferno. Should we be in panic mode? Probably not. But it's one of them things, man, where every single time you get a little bit of buy pressure, you get your knees cut out from underneath you. It's difficult to deal with. It's just difficult to deal with. And you're going to have a lot of people that pop up and say, you should just bought and held. That's always easy to say in hindsight. Great. Congratulations. If you never take profits, you never get paid and you never get anything for it. And you tend to be one of the people who gets stuck with it. Don't think that you're the best because you get it right one time. That's a big fallacy, right? We call that the hot streak fallacy. If you guys don't know what the hot streak fallacy is, it's kind of like watching Steph Curry play basketball. You know, every time Steph shoots, we think, shit, that's going in. Why? Because sometimes he'll make 6 or 7 in a row, and you go, but what you don't realize is he's usually 2 for 7, right? He missed 5 in order to make 2. Now, those 2 were momentum shots and changed things, but he actually isn't killing it with the percentage that you think he is. That's the hot fallacy, the hot streak fallacy. You know, just because you think you're on a hot streak doesn't mean you are on a hot streak. So there was a time back in the day where just buying and holding made you rich. Perhaps they're winning again now, but you know good and well this bubble's going to pop. All the money that's in all these bullshit meme coins, that's in all these other bullshit coins will eventually go away. And all of those people who are holding on thinking they're going to go up are going to lose their money. Y'all all know that to be a fact. This bubble will deflate at some point. Now, I don't mean Bitcoin. I mean everything else. Pick your poison on which altcoin is going to be the king altcoin. Knock yourself out. That's all subjective and a bit of guessing, right? I think y'all know that's subjective and a bit of guessing. I don't like to do either. I like to keep it real. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with what I do and keep watching charts because that's kind of the only thing that doesn't lie to me. The tricky thing is we've got a lot of head fakes recently, right? And I got CRV up here to show you. This is a bit of a head fake. At the same time, if I flip it to linear mode, this is sitting on the good side of the trend line. So it's kind of technically all right. And if you zoom out to weekly, well, that could be worse. Log, linear, doesn't matter. It's all right. It's on the trend line. It's kind of fine. It's just stair-stepping its way up, right? But at what cost and at how much time used is it going to take to get our gains? Because we only have a little bit of time left. You see what I'm saying? Sucks, right? You can't be for sure that we're going to get this big alt season. No one can. And since you can't be for sure that we're going to get that alt season, should you put your money in them? Now you see the conundrum, the Caligula, if you will. Cody says, Keith, I have a bottle of whiskey for you. Will you send me a DM so I can get it to you? Maybe you can sit back and relax and not worry about the charts on one evening on your with your fam. Yeah, if you'll message me over in Discord in the general chat, just say, hey, Keith, in the general chat or something like that. I'll send you a DM. But I'm way behind on DMs. I'm not going to lie. It's a borderline depression, fellas. I'm not necessarily a depressive and anxiety-ridden person, but it's not necessarily me. It's me knowing that a lot of people are losing, and it's a heavy weight. It's a heavy weight to know that so many people are losing. And some people are going to say they're not, and I know better. I've seen a lot of influencers talking a lot of shit recently. And some of their comments are emotional comments. You can see them coming out, and you can tell that they're saying things that they wouldn't typically say. You know, you can see things like, this is it, I'm done, I'm rotating out, this, that, right? Because they want to be right and say they did it. Well, they were saying that when the price was 105, 104. Well, now it's up here in the 120s again. They're, oh, well, I thought you said you quit. Oh, I'm going to go all stocks next time. Seems like a mistake to say that. So, you know, like I told you guys, I've been saying this since 2022 and 2023 when we started rebuying. I'm like, look, man, there's a time when I'm going to be able to walk away from this.
Wrong.
Didn't work out, did it? Had big plans. Had a lot of people leave. Had a lot of people give up on me. Had a lot of people give up on me. That part sucks. You know what I mean? That part sucks. Had a lot of people I thought I was friends with, you know what I mean? I thought some people I'd made lifelong friends with. You know? Wrong. It's such a selfish space, dude. It really is. And it's taught me a lot about business. It really has. Like, it started, you guys will never know the full story to all this because I'll never tell the full story to it because it's between me and those people. But yeah, man, I had 6-figure deals set up. Multiple 6-figure deals set up in 2022 and part of 2023. It had nothing to do with coins or nothing like that. I don't do that shit. I'm talking about business deals. And to have them renege on you and crawfish on you, whatever term you want to use. I thought those people were my friends, you know what I mean? Nope. What it really came down to is what they wanted and what they needed and had nothing to do with me at all. And I didn't understand that at the time, but I understand it now. And like, that was probably the precursor that I should have saw and went, hey, Keith, man, this shit's going to be different this time. It doesn't matter what you did to help people. Doesn't fucking matter. They don't care. It's all about them. That's the craziest part to me. Like the amount of people, like for wrestling reference, the amount of people that I put over. Does that mean like I lost on purpose so that you guys would be more popular? The amount of people that I put over was pretty high. And they don't even talk to me anymore. We gave away $70,000 worth of crypto last bull run. You know how many people how many of those people talk to me? 0. Now, we did do some good. We built some wells in Laos. That's pretty badass. We fed a village in Laos. That's pretty badass. Like that. Made me feel like I'd done something good for the world. Whether I did or not, it made me feel like I did something good for the world. Helped out a family that was having a hard time with surgeries and stuff. Damn near died. Right? We're able to give that family 10 grand and get him a freezer, get him a bunch of food, etc. Because I lost his job, etc., right? Kidney transplant. They don't talk to me anymore. It's been a wild ride, fellas. Really has. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So maybe you guys can start to understand a little bit when I say like, it's heavier for me than it is for y'all. And it's not the money. It's not the money. Eventually, one day, I'll be a millionaire. Might be 15 years from now. Eventually, one day I'll be a millionaire. Maybe it won't even matter to be a millionaire then, but one day I will be. It's that that I wanted to see other people do it with me is the hardest part. And it's just not happening. It's just not happening. You know, J. Cole has a famous line in a song, "What good is first class if my friends can't sit?" Well, here we are, right? What good is it for me to talk about how well I'm doing if everybody else is failing? It's just selfishness at that point. And I don't like that stuff. And those people will never talk to me again. They'll never talk to me again. And I didn't want it to be that way. And for what it's worth, I still don't want it to be that way, but it's just how it is. So the stuff will break you, man. It'll break you. I really hope things turn around here in the next month and a half. Because if they don't, I mean, you're going to see 90% of the people in crypto lose their money. And I really hoped that didn't happen. Unfortunately, it's probably gonna. You know what I mean? And I could sit here and go through a bunch of charts and try to make people feel better. And we can go through some, but I'm not sure it's going to help anything, right? Because I've got CRV pulled up here. You can see a bit of a bullish engulfing. It's under a lot of resistance, though. And like I said, it's on the good side of the trend line. If I put it in linear mode, you'll see that. Yeah. Got to do something. Got to make a new high. And there's not many highs getting made. Just not many highs getting made. AVAX, such a letdown. Looked good. Looked good. I've already sold half. Looked good. And then bam, lower high. Down you go into the dumps. It's like, fuck, man. Cardano. Tons of hype online about Cardano. Cardano. Oh my gosh, this guy. It's been dead flat since August. 3 months, nothing. Dead flat. Dead flat since July, actually. What now? Do something. Nope, just dead sideways. How much longer can it sustain this is my question, right? You go back and look at history. Some of these topped out by the summer. We're past the summer. So have they already topped out? Unfortunately, it looks like yeah, maybe they have. XRP peaked in July. Count it with me, folks. That's 83 days. That's 3 months of nothing burgers. Nothing burgers in the middle of a bull run. An entire quarter of nothing burger. Can we sustain that? It's my belief that probably not. So like I said, we got another month and a half. And if that doesn't fix it, I don't know if anything will. I hate to be grim and all that shit and be depressive on here, but I'm just trying to be honest and be real. Most people ain't gonna come on here and do this. Most people gonna come on here and bullshit y'all, man. And y'all know that ain't what I do. I just come on here and be honest. And if it bites me in the ass, it bites me in the ass. Whatever, man. One day someone's gonna look back on this shit and go, well, at least he was honest. I mean, I hope anyway. I hope. Makes me not want to do this stuff anymore. You know what I mean? I already told you guys, like, I was 2023 or 2024, I sent out a message and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. And for what it's worth, if you go back and look at X, you haven't seen me post a shit ton of altcoins. You haven't. It's been mostly Bitcoin and upper coins. Every once in a while, I've said some stuff about altcoins, but it's very rare. It's mostly Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and that's about it, right? Maybe Solana. I stick to the high cap stuff. Made most of my money on low cap stuff last time. You know what I mean? But told you guys I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I haven't. So I'm not going to anymore. I'm not going to do that because you guys have started to see the reality of the stupidity of the market. It's just massive amounts of unbelievably large stupidity, and I don't want anybody to get stuck in it. And if I say something about it, I feel responsible even if I'm not. And for me as a husband and a dad, it's more important for my integrity, for my kids to look back on this in a couple years and go, hey man, he was honest, he told the truth, he's an example of being honest and telling the truth. So grim shit. I'm sorry, y'all. Grim shit. You know what I mean? All right. A couple more, right? XLM. Same kind of look as the others. She showed up here and then she showed back down. Got over the moving averages just to fail the moving averages, right? Up, then back down. Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Over and over and over and over and over for the last 3 months. Head fake, head fake, head fake. Bruh. Every time we buy, every single time. Then we sell. Sucks, man. So this is on the wrong side of the trend line now. I can't do anything with this. I've already sold this. I think I sold it. If I haven't, I'm going to after the stream. Whatever. Python. What looked to be good. Hey, man, you're riding the trend line. Wrong. Wrong. Rolls over and quits. I won't even say the name of that coin because that person doesn't talk to me anymore. Gala. Crypto gaming. That's what happened to crypto gaming. That shit logged off. Gone. Done. Supposed to be a big deal. Supposed to be a big deal. Crypto gaming was supposed to be baller. Yeah. Peter G XRP, BTC top is done. Will be no more altcoin season. You missed the first 51 minutes of what I said. I'm not going to repeat it. So crypto gaming never even came about. It just left the chat. Anything that was there was just speculative and it's gone. Now, fortunately, I've still got a bunch of node rewards sitting around that are useless that I'm going to have to sell at some point here. I wanted to see some sort of buy pressure. Doesn't exist. No buy pressure on Gala since December of 24. Bollinger Bands? Yeah. A ton of them look like this. A ton of them look like this. XRP, it's going to be the same situation. Tightening bands. Not that tight, though, honestly. Sui. I hate using Bollinger Bands sometimes because it does this with the chart and keeps putting it in auto. You can see how tight the bands are getting on some of these weeklies. But they're not super tight yet. And since they're not super tight, well, you're to assume that it's going to take a little bit of time. Near was another one. Looks good, fails. Looks good, fails. Been failing for over a year now. Been failing for almost 2 years now. Just down and down and down and down and down. These were top coins. These were top coins. Chainlink. Took a year and a half to do anything. Remember that? Remember this back here? Bang. And then now, right back to it. Can't make a new high. Can't make a new high. Can't make a new high. Looked like it was going to break out, make a new high. Gotcha, bitch. No new high. Damn. You can't win for losing. Every single time it looks like we get ahead, rip it back out from underneath us. And if you ask me, that just reeks of don't bother. If that was baseball and I'm standing in the box trying to hit the baseball and you keep throwing it at me and hitting me with the ball, well, I'm just going to stop standing there eventually. If you can't throw a strike, I'm not going to stand in there and hit. We're getting thrown a lot of fucking sliders in the dirt, split finger fastballs in the dirt, sweet chin music curveballs high tight, fastballs in the ribs, and there's not much you can do with that. And even right now, the price action looks green, but it's only because it's approaching 12 o'clock. And as it's approaching 12 o'clock, the market's going, I think I can sucker some people in before this next 4-hour candle. Because that 4-hour candle right there on Bitcoin is not great. That needs to reverse immediately. And if it doesn't, she's not gonna. She's gonna make a new low and attack those liquidity levels down there. And if that happens, again, cooked. So thanks for being honest. The good you do is spread knowledge and education that won't be taken away. Other inventors and investors, influencers can't say the same. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. Doesn't make anything that way. It doesn't make any money that way. You know what I mean? It doesn't give us any monetary value. While it may give us some mental and emotional value, it doesn't help us. You see what I'm saying? My section of the industry just disappeared. That's all there is to it. No one cares about charts anymore. It turned into OnlyFans and porn memes, and it's either that or hodlers. No one wants to see TA anymore. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to watch what you know works evaporate because people don't care is tough. To watch people no longer watch. I mean, we have almost 11,000 people on YouTube, and there are 34 people watching. I can't make people watch. 17,000 people on X. 100 people watching. I can't make people watch. We have an unserious crowd. And I think it might be a decade before people are serious. And that sucks. Just kind of is what it is. Aerodrome was one that looked decent, and then it's got to throw in these stupid little candles down here like it wants to go, but not actually going. Could have been worse. Could have failed hard. Didn't. That's 4 hour. On daily, you're right on the 100 moving average like it wants to hold and buck up and try something. Nothing yet, right? Nothing yet. So we'll see. Dab says sometimes saving money is just as important as making money. Yeah, agreed. That's why I sold a bunch. I wanted to try to save some money. But then after I sold, everything started wicking. Like, fucking great. Right? That wick happened right there yesterday when I was selling. Like, also, I'm not even home. I'm running around with the kids all day today. All day. Aside from like 2 hours. I'm running around with kids constantly. Then I got home. Wife got home. Got food put out on the grill. I got a smoker running right now with a Boston butt in it, right? I got to go check on that in a couple minutes here and make sure it's not up to temp yet. Because if it's up to temp, that shit's got to come out, get rolled around, and turn back up so I can start crisping it. And that will be 4 in the morning when it's done. So I'm going to keep watching this stuff, right? I mean, it hasn't failed completely. We still are over support. It just might take a few weeks to turn the corner here. And my problem with that is if it takes a few weeks to turn the corner and doesn't have a gain behind that, it's over. We can't keep sitting here and watching it not succeed, because the longer we watch it not succeed, the more likely it is to fail. And I mean fail way hard. Because if you think it's bad now, and this stuff takes off and goes south really, really aggressively on the weekly, it's going to get bad. I ain't seen that guy in a long time. Sometimes return of investment is more important than return of investment. Sometimes return of investment is more important than return on investment. Yep, I guess so. Maybe I'll learn one day. I don't know, man. It's whatever. It's fine. It's whatever. I appreciate all you guys coming on here and watching. We have about 40 people on YouTube, which is about 30 more people than we usually have. Over on Rumble, I appreciate you guys watching over there. We ended up with almost 200 people over on X. That's pretty good. That's only about 20% of what we usually get. So, hey, y'all guys could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. All right. Let's make the best of our todays, the worst of our tomorrows. Even though we keep having worse days, let's try to have a better day, okay? And no one else has told you today. Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. If you need something, give me a holler. And I know I seem like a Debbie Downer right now, and maybe I am, but if you still need somebody to talk to, just give me a holler. We'll talk it out, all right? Thank y'all. I'll see y'all on Tuesday, man. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.